Soulmates. Big word. Can be a bit of a airy-fairy mung bean kind of word. So it's today's word vitamin, an opportunity for you to actually have a look at the word and evaluate what it means for you. I think one of my favourite translations of the word soulmates is about being best mates with your own soul. I mean, if we really can do that, if we can just be our very best mate, our very best friend, I mean, I know it can kind of sound a bit corny, but if we back ourselves and honour ourselves and don't abandon ourselves and don't speak poorly about ourselves, but take, responsibility for ourselves, that's a great friendship to be able to rely on. It's something, that emotional fitness is based on, and I'm certainly a work in progress in doing that. So if you get a chance to read the word vitamin, I've had a bit of fun with this word and made up a few of my own little side options that you consider. Because for me, the process of elimination, working out what things aren't, has helped me a lot refine. I spent the first half of my life doing all the shit I shouldn't have done. Working out what doesn't work. I got clean and sober when I was 33. Now, heading into my 54th year, I've done a lot of research on what not to do. So I've also done a fair bit of research on what a soulmate's not. And some of the things I've discovered for myself that they're not. And again, as I've said, I've explained myself a bit more fully in the actual word vitamin. So you can read the blog if you want to. So for me, a soulmate is not what I call a role mate. So a role mate in my little concoction of life is somebody that plays a role in your life. So they might be a boss, an employer, they might be a lover, they might be a friend, they might be a teacher, but they play an important role, a big role. Now we could perhaps in the heat of that relationship at its best feel like they're a soulmate. However, when life changes and their role is no longer required, you're no longer a student, you're no longer a teacher, you're no longer employed, you're no longer lovers, do they still feel like a soulmate? Do you still have this connection? Or was it just a mono-channel connection? So I don't think a soulmate's a role mate, somebody that their primary purpose in your life is the role that they play, and if they're not playing that role, there's no connection. The next thing is a dole mate. Dole, in Australia, being on the dole is when we're unemployed. And, if we broaden that a little bit, when we're not working, when we've got time on our hands, a dole mate might be somebody that we hang out with when we're bored, or we hang out with when we've got spare time. But if we're busy or employed, we don't see them so much. So that's not a soulmate. Then there's toll mates, and they're like, I think of, toll, police, ticketing, and people in our lives that we do have a deep connection with that actually do share, they're like a sheriff, they police us. And if you're anything like me, I've needed a few toll mates, and my therapists have been toll mates. They have been people that I report to, that I rely on to help me follow some guidelines, because I've been a pretty sort of anti-establishment, fuck you kind of person. So toll mates, people that can help you learn a construct, and discipline you. So sometimes a personal trainer might be a toll mate. Your financial planner or your bank manager might be a toll mate. And there's somebody that you have a very deep connection with. But again, those relationships can very easily lead to resentment because they're conditional upon the reporting. And if you're in a relationship with a lover and they're your toll mate, they're consistently policing you, long term that can have some real issues. Then there's goal mates, and goal mates are people, I've gotten into recovery and my goal is to live clean and sober one day at a time. So I do have some people in my life that are goal mates. When I see them, they too have that goal, and we share this kindred fellowship, because it's fucking hard. I put David Bowie, his clip, up on my site. There was an interview that he was talking about being a recovering addict alcoholic, and straight away, I've never met the man, but there was a kindred connection because, he's a goal mate, even, though I've never met him. And so Goal mates can be people you do boot camp with, you get fit with, you train with, you diet with, you save with, you travel with. The goal is to be the best version of yourself or to achieve a goal with these people. But then again, if the goal's not in that relationship, is the connection still there? So a soulmate is really a whole mate, somebody that our entirety, our head, heart and body connects with, and we feel safe with, and we have fun with. And anyway, I'm rambling. I haven't had a coffee yet. There's some things to think about there. I hope it's been useful. Mwah! Lots of love. See ya.